Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. If you are a Pats fan, I'm sure you've heard or you've seen all these mock drafts. And at number 3, who is always there? It's always Jayden Daniels. I'm not one to complain. I'm going to kind of be going in and just kind of looking into this pick. And I'm going to giving you my opinions on if I think he should be on the Patriots and if he will be in the Patriots. But first off, I'm going to read an excerpt from this article I found on Boston.com. Called Jayden Daniels has reportedly gained steam to be the Patriots selection with the number 3rd overall pick. Now I saw this paragraph that interests me. Jayden Daniels has gained steam this week as the player the Patriots will most likely select with their top pick, the Athletic's Jeff Howe reported Saturday. While there have been rumors that Daniels could usurp Drake May as the perceived number 2 overall pick, rival executives believe that the Commanders are high on the UNC quarterback and think he is the favorite to head to Washington, according to Howe. I believe in this too. I agree with what Jeff Howe says. I don't really think they would want Jayden Daniels because of his age. People underestimate how much age plays into a draft pick. Think about it. The Patriots, they could be okay with Jayden Daniels because he's older. But the Patriots, they have a future. They have a lot to build off of here. They have an amazing defense, a whole new young coaching staff, and all they have to do is fix up the offense, and that starts with the quarterback. And all they got to do is get receivers and maybe a lineman or two. This can all be done relatively fast, and we can go back into playoff contention again. But for Commanders, do they really have a future? No. They've got only a couple of pieces that they can work on. Their defense isn't anything to be just proud of. They're really just really mid. They have not a great future, and they are going to need a lot more time to rebuild than the Patriots are going to need. So they're going to take the younger quarterback, who they'll be able to have for longer without him regressing. That's true. That's why I believe that the Commanders will take Drake May. And that reason also applies to why the Bears won't take Jayden Daniels. Same thing. But let's look at his stats here. In the 2023 season, he had 3,812 yards, 40 touchdowns, with only 4 interceptions, and a QB rating of 95.6, which is first in all of NCAA football. He was incredible. I mean, to put it bluntly, just his stats alone prove something amazing. But you can also look into account of his rushing stats, which I didn't bring up. This year, he had 1,000 rushing yards on top of the 3,000 passing yards. And if you think about it, it doesn't seem like a lot compared to what a lot of NFL players are throwing. But he did all that, 1,000 rushing yards and 3,000 passing yards in only 12 games about. 12 or 11 games in this season. Maybe even only 10. He had amazing productions, and I do not expect to put these numbers up in the NFL because of how different it is, but just that alone makes me really confident in this guy. I mean, Dan Orlovsky prefers Jayden Daniels over Caleb Williams, and I can see why. Jayden Daniels has a way higher floor than Caleb Williams does, or even Drake May does. But his ceiling, it's not as high. It's still very, very high, but it's not as high as someone like Caleb Williams or Drake May has been. And, with the success of players like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, people are definitely going to be a little less scared for taking people like Caleb Williams and Drake May instead of people like Jayden Daniels, who are a bit safer. So that's another reason why I think Jayden Daniels will fall to us. But I honestly think, skill-wise right now, Jalen Williams is by far better than Caleb Williams or Drake May. For instance, let's look at how he graded out on the NFL Combine and Scouting Report. The NFL Combine and Scout Report graded him at a 6.73, which is a year one starter. and one of the higher picks or higher grades that can grade somebody. And his next gen stats score breakdown looks like this. He had a production score of 97, an athleticism score at 89, which is insane for a quarterback, and a total score of 92, which ranks him at second in quarterbacks. His strengths are he has great command over the field and a lot of football intelligence, and he's good at recognizing pre-snap pressure. But some of his weaknesses are, if you're ever watching his games or if you even watch his highlights, you might notice one thing. He's not exactly a big fan of sliding. I have watched this man get run the ball, and instead of sliding and getting his nice 3 yards, running straight into a guy and getting blown up. Now I'll give him this: he holds onto the ball most of the time, but as a quarterback, people don't want to risk you getting injured, so they do not want you not sliding. But that is very easy to fix and coach up, so I'm not too worried about that. But he does have below average push and placement on deep throw, so he's not the biggest deep throw guy. Which he's not your Jayden Daniels or your Drake Mays or even your J.J. McCarthy, who's got a decent arm, underrated arm in my opinion. But he makes up for it all with his running abilities, where he doesn't need to be able to throw it as far, because if he has nobody open, and he can just run it. Now, just to put into account his strengths here, he has about 10 strengths marked here, and only about 6 weaknesses, which means there are a lot more things to love about this guy than to hate about this guy. In my opinion, if the Patriots drafted him, they are getting a generational talent, and even at pick 3, he's a steal, in my opinion. I think you take him and you plop him into any other draft class in the past couple of years, he could potentially be the number 1 pick in the draft. I mean, he is just incredible. You're not going to find somebody this skilled who is relatively a safer pick. I genuinely believe this guy will, if he comes to New England, will be elite. And I am going to be instantly regretting all the times I made Lamar Jackson being a running back jokes with my friends, because we basically have, who people are considering Lamar Jackson 2.0, air quotes, on our team. So if we draft him, I'll take back every single Lamar Jackson is a running back comment I've ever made. But if the Patriots draft this guy, which it looks like they really will, they will not regret it. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Go Pats and draft Jayden Daniels.